You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one is for Connor Pearson, who says, I only just bumped up to 15, but if I can get it in by this month, I wouldn't mind hearing you ranting about how Kyoto Animation, only focusing on adapting work published under their own label, has caused them to become way less fun, besides an occasional glimmer like Dragon Maid. Is this why Kyoto Animation is less fun? Because I'm kind of with you. I kind of agree that, and I don't know how much this is just a matter of taste, but like that I'm not as intrigued by their like general output, but I understand why they're doing this, right? Like it's all about owning the IPs, getting the full, like sort of respect and what's the word, profit that they deserve. Like I think that Kyoto Animation, and this is just me like trying to literally psychoanalyze an animation studio by way of logic of looking at what happened through a very limited lens of history, but like it seems to me like probably Kyoto Animation created Haruhi, the Haruhi anime, put so much work and love into it, and it was all for somebody else in a way. Like they were never going to reap the full benefits of it or have full control over what they could do with it because it's owned by someone else. And when you have something that incredibly successful that you made that way, that is only successful because of your talents, but you don't reap the reward of it, at least not all the way, I see why that would drive you to go, you know what? From now on, if we're going to put this much work in, we are getting the fucking reward. It's coming back to us. It's going to allow us to do what we want to do. We're going to have control. So I get why they want that. As I understand it, several of the anime that they did, because they always have like a contest, like a light novel contest or whatever, and the winner is the one who gets their anime adapted. And like I think several of the ones they didn't even actually declare a winner. They just picked like the best of the bunch, but they even that wasn't actually what they thought was like good enough to consider an actual win. I don't know if I'm correct about that. I heard that before, which is funny because like obviously if a property is already popular, then it must have some inherent appeal. If KyoAni is picking something that isn't even tested on like an audience, then there's much more of a roll of the dice going on there. But like I think that it's less about them wanting, like I don't even think it's just a matter of the control. I think it's about what they want to do. Like I think that they want to make like artsier, more in like deeper content, I guess. Like not to say that Liz and the Bluebird is like deeper than Haruhi or anything, but like it's more artsy. It's less immediate. It's not something that you look at and you go, that's gonna sell. It's like something that sells on the strength of the fact that Kyoto Animation did it, that Yamada Naoko is so respected as a director at this point for having done great work, that like they can put so much production value, so much heart and soul into making a movie like that would not get greenlit, if not for the fact that they themselves are saying like, we think this is worth taking the risk on producing. We think this will be successful because we are fucking Kyoto Animation, and people will watch what we do because they know it's going to be at a certain level. And there's a huge cult of KyoAni fans who like the modern shit the most. Like if you go around like the Sakuga community or the trans community on Annie Twitter and shit, like huge into Hibike, or the gay community, huge into Hibike Euphonium, huge into Liz and the Bluebird, so like or Tamako Market and Love Story and stuff like that, like, and I don't even think any of these are bad. Like I think they're all great stuff that like, it just is a different tone. It's a different feel that they're striving for, and it's something that isn't as immediate, isn't as accessible. It's more niche, and I'm honestly proud of them for accomplishing that, for getting people to watch and like Violet Evergarden, a show that if you were to pitch that to a studio, or to pitch it to a producer, I doubt they would be so eager to greenlight that if it wasn't KyoAni telling you like, yeah, we're going to put like this crazy amount of effort into this show that doesn't sound like it would be a success, but when people fucking see it, they go, I have to watch that. And a lot of people really love it. So, I don't think they're doing anything wrong. I think they are developing exactly the way that they want to be. I think that, they're crafting the kind of shows they want to make. They're reaping the benefit from it. They're the cult of people who, really worship the kind of thing that they're doing are getting what they want. And it's only people who really loved what their old identity was and who feel that they haven't given it back to them. Those are the people who are kind of out in the cold, and I'm kind of one of those people, but at the same time, like, they're just hit or miss, and they always have been. It's not like I loved everything they've ever made back in the day either, and, like, they are still making stuff like Dragon Maid, which is getting a second season, and I absolutely love it, so it's not like they've totally disappeared from, people who want that kind of content, but there are definitely tons of people who I know who would gladly toss out Dragon Maid and Haruhi and Lucky Star for Liz or for Hibike Euphonium, so, like, it just comes down to a matter of taste, really.